Hello people of YouTube, welcome back. So yes, I'm hot off the heels of watching Retro Red Steve do his top 10 Sega Master System games, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a quick pop at that myself. So yeah, coffee at the ready. I'm actually flipping roasting. I don't know why. I've been in here all week and I've not felt as hot as this, and this is supposed to be like the worst day. So what's that all about? I think it's because I'm stressing because I've got to be out the house in about 20 minutes. So anyway, stop talking and talk about the things that we're supposed to be. So obviously we like to have a few honourable mentions. R-Type, definitely a big missing game. Unfortunately, I don't own it. And I've been playing quite a lot of games on the, what's it called, the Sega Master System Challenge that easily could replace, mate. I don't know if it could replace, but they would definitely be in the honourable mentions. Like Bomber Raid, that was flipping fantastic. It was sort of like a cross between Aleste and 1942. Really good game, and it's like it's playing these Sega Master System challenges that you find out about such games. Other games that are missing, Bubble Bobble, bloody hell, New Zealand Story. Oh my goodness, great games. Just goes to show how many good games there is on the Sega Master System. I'm really enjoying the system at the moment. So honourable mentions, Castle of Illusion. We all love this game. Great platformer, a little bit different than the Mega Drive version, which is all we need really. It was just nice, simple fun really. Flipping put on put. I absolutely love this. This is more of a sort of Game Gear game for me, realistically, and that's why it's in the honorable mentions. But yeah, as a golf game, absolutely fucking love this game. So pardon my French, but this probably was my most played Game Gear game, honestly. Really great. And another one that I got gifted by Sean, Retro Games Revived. Everyone's a retro. Bloody hell, everyone's got retro in the title. Gets me confused very easy. Doesn't take much to confuse me. But yeah, it's not a sleuth game. It's actually a sort of like top-down Spine Hunter style game that you start off racing in a car, and then all of a sudden it turns into a shmup and then goes back into the car, and it gets increasingly more difficult. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Me and Nate had a bit of a score attack, had a bit of fun with that. So yeah, they're my honourable mentions out of the way. What is my top 10? And with all top 10s, this could change in a moment's notice. So we're going to put this one. It's it's going to have to be Golden Axe Warrior. Now, this is such a shame. I was hoping for bigger things for this. It's basically, we all know it's a Zelda clone. It's nothing like Golden Axe or anything like that. It's a proper clone of Zelda. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite get it right, I don't think. It does so much good going for it, but then falls back. He tries to take the Zelda formula and enhance it a little bit. And where it enhances it, it falls flat a little bit. So there's a lot of like hitting trees, trying to find stuff. I know that was in Zelda, but they really overdid it on this. And as well, I find that the attack is a little bit not quite how you expect it to hit, and because of that I find it really hard, especially in the later levels. Oh my goodness, it kicked my ass. But yes, even though it's a bad Zelda game, a bad Zelda game is worthy of the top 10 in the Sega Master System list, and it is actually a really good game, and I recommend everyone play it, especially if you like Zelda games. You will love this game. It is a fantastic game. So another game that I know more so as a Game Gear game, and it's Psychic World. Oh my goodness, this is flipping fantastic. It's sort of a little bit RPG where you kind of like level up a little bit, not much. I won't call it's not really an RPG, but it's an action platformer that is quite hard later on through the levels. Really cool like graphics, very sort of like Japanesey looking. Really good. I'll see if you can see any of the screenshots on the back, just to see what it's like. But yeah, this is one that I used to play a lot as a kid, and I think it's that nostalgia vibe that brings it in. I didn't actually have a Master System until the Sega Master System 2. I was a NES kid. However, I played a lot of Master System at friends' houses and at the local youth club. and that's why that's a bit of a segue into the next game, and that is Rampage. Jesus Christ, I've played so much of this at the arcade club. We all used to take it in turns with our lives, because obviously there was quite a few of us, seeing how far we could get and stuff like that. And yeah, this game just sticks into my head just for that mindless fun, that comedy elements of it all. Fantastic. I don't think you can get, well, I say you can't get a better game, but it's number, what, 7 is it? So there's obviously 6 better games than this. But yeah, anyway, I actually played this through recently. We did, there was like a bit of a VR about playing Rampage, and I thought I'd jump on it. And yeah, it kind of was a lot easier than I remember. Usually games were harder than you remember, but yeah, this, I actually completed all 50 rounds on that video. It was quite easy. I remember it being harder than it was, but I don't know. It's strange. It's the first game I've encountered where it's a lot easier than I remember. I've never had that before. But still quite a fun game, especially when you've got 2 of you. That makes the game. Sonic 2. Now, I know Steve mentioned Sonic 2 not being his favourite. He prefers 1, but 1 is good, but this just polishes it even more. And people complain about the hang gliders. The hang gliders were great. They were so fun. They just made this into its own unique game. And yeah, like, so many people say they don't like Sonic because of the speed and everything. Play Sonic on the Master System. Honestly, it's a great platformer. As platformer's sake, there's exploration, a little bit of exploration, not like massively, but still, like, it's a lot more exploration than just an average platformer. It's got like quite detailed levels and stuff like that. So really good, really recommend it. How could you not have Sonic 2 in your list? Next up, one that I didn't play as a kid. It's only like sort of like later on that I did, and it's Power Strike. Yeah, I love my shooters. As I say, there was so many good shooters that we played recently. However, there isn't any that have the spectacle of Power Strike. This really like is a showcase of what the system can do. So good. Part of the Aleste series. I know Power Strike 2 is a little offshoot of that. It's actually not a direct sequel to this. It's completely different. And also incredibly expensive, where this is like, what, 20 quid or something. So yeah, definitely recommend getting this one over the second one. I don't know, it's hard to say. Just download it, play a ROM of it. Awesome. Well worth your time, really. So yeah, like I say, the power-up system is really cool because you've got like there's lots of things just flying through the air, and you just try and collect in as many things as you can. A lot of flickering. There is a lot of flickering, yeah, I've got to admit there is that. But does it distract from the game? Not really. I mean, I think if you're a retro gamer, you kind of expect that. So if you enjoy your retro games, that would not put you off at all. If you're a modern gamer trying to go back, I'm looking at you, Paul, because I know you flicker really puts you off. I think I don't know if you could play it really. It would be hard. But you can get like emulators now that sort of like take the flicker away. It like uprates the system. So that would probably be a good one to do. Yeah, fantastic game. I don't know if I could rate this over the NES one, but Ninja Gaiden, absolutely love this game. It's a completely different game than the NES one. Like, people think it's some kind of port. It's not. I think it's because I think the artwork is very similar to the NES one, although it always looks different when it's got the Sega Master System squares around it. But yeah, this is a Ninja Gaiden game that you could probably complete. Whereas the NES one, yeah, you can complete it if you put a bit of time in it. You could probably complete this after a couple of goes, honestly. I mean, if not the first go. I got to the last boss on the first go when I first played it. But yeah, it's really good platformer. It's not quite got the jumping. Like, I always find, like, with Sega Master System games, like the platforming, the jumping hasn't got, like, it is very straight up and down. Whereas like NES games, they've kind of like, every game has a jump that feels unique to that game, And Master System, I just feel like all the jumps, no matter what game you're playing, all feel the same. I don't know if anyone else feels that or understands what I'm even talking about, because I do talk a lot of shit half the time. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden, absolutely flipping love this game. And next, I've just talked about this recently, Master of Darkness. Now, everyone calls it a Castlevania clone. Is it? Not really. It's got like nods to Castlevania with the stairs. Does it have a whip? No. It's got like a knife that flipping is annoying, and like a sword and a pistol. And yeah, it is just a cool, atmospheric, sort of like, I don't know, creepy Dracula tale. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, yeah, it's a Castlevania clone, isn't it? I'm trying to say it's not, but it really, I mean, it is, isn't it? Really, you can't deny it. Right, next up, again, we've got another clone of sorts. Goldelias. Absolutely love this game. Like I was mentioning about like Golden Axe being a Zelda clone, and it didn't quite hit the notes. This is Zelda and then some. I just love everything about it. This starts off and it becomes an adventure. There's no like stupid like trying to find this because of that. I mean, there is. You've kind of got like progress through areas and stuff like that. But it kind of like slowly adds you, so it's like kind of logical. Whereas the problem with Golden Axe Warrior, it just drops you into the world and you've got the whole world that you can access straight away, and it doesn't feel like you're progressing like you do on Goldelias. Plus the graphics are beautiful, the soundtrack is memorable, whereas again Golden Axe, the soundtrack's not as memorable. So again, Zelda games, you have to have that memorable soundtrack. And then this also turns into a very strange scrolling shooter. Well, it's not a shooter, it's like a walk 'em up hack and slash, and then and then it comes into like a really weird platformer that you can't turn around, and it's very stiff. However, very cool looking. And yeah, this is in my top 3. It's got to be, because it is a flipping amazing game. I think if you're not into Zelda games, you could probably enjoy this as well, because of the different elements that you can do. I'm trying to be a little bit different than Steve. We've got Wonderboy in Monsterland. Absolutely flipping love this game. This was originally played on other systems for me. It was the Amiga version that I played and fell in love with. A bit more arcadey, more of the arcade. However, when I went and played it on the Master System, I was blown away how similar it was to the Amiga for an 8-bit system. And yeah, the sound, the sound effects, everything about this game just steeps in nostalgia for me. However, it's not just a nostalgia based game, led game, that holds it up. It is still a really good game. And yeah, it's a must play. Has this been remade? I don't think this one's been remade, and this is the better one. I prefer this over Dragon's Trap. However, I need to play Dragon's Trap again. Actually, I don't think I've even got Dragon's Trap. I'm sure I picked that up recently. I don't know. Yes, and finally, number one. This is a new entry. I say new, like 6 or 7 years ago or something, maybe. Sagaya. So this is, as you could probably hopefully tell, it's actually Darius. This is Darius. Is it 2? Is it Darius 1 or 2? I can't remember. But yeah, absolutely fantastic game. Again, pushes the system. It's got some really cool scrolling effects, parallax scrolling effects. But the game itself, it's very accessible. If you take the top routes, makes it very easy to do. And then you can push yourself by seeing how well you do. You can take different routes, and it's got like so good replay value and stuff like that. This is quite an impressive game. So many levels to it for a shooter, for an 8-bit shooter. And yeah, it's as hard as you want it to be, and it's just cool visuals. I just love stuff that it doesn't always have to be a good game for me to enjoy it, as long as it's kind of got like that heart and soul of like good graphics. I say not even good graphics, just like well presented graphics. And that's got this in spades. But not only that, it's got the gameplay to back it up with, and that is why it's my number one. Yeah, so glad I've got this in the collection. I'd love to have R-Type right next to it, but maybe today. Maybe I'll get that today. I'm going game hunting. So yeah, this is my top 10 and then some of Master System games. Yeah, let me know what yours are. Hopefully you can do a VR as well, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.